Justice Ramana, former CJI, the creator and author of IAMC Hyderabad, my beloved co-trustees, Justice N.V.Rao, who gave the idea for setting up the center, and Justice Kohli, who as Chief Justice extended formidable assistance and is doing wonderful work even now. I only wonder why Justice Ramana, he had absolutely good reasons for selecting Justice N.V.Rao and Justice Kohli as trustees. As I said, N.V.Rao gave the idea and Justice Kohli implemented. Where did I come from? I do not know. Ramana must have thought, Unni Peddaina, konchmu Telugu telchunu, konchmu mediation telchunu, Unni Koda Unni anta. Thank you, Mr. Ramana, for adding me, though I am not from Telangana or Hyderabad. And anyhow, we will all try to, we the trustees will try to live up to your expectations in making this center a world-class center. And lastly, Mr. George Lim, the special guest today. When I say Mr. Lim, you can take it, it is deemed to have included Mr. V. Ming Chon and Mr. Vijayendran and Mr. Wong. The four worked as a wonderful team. I remember the days of, Dhoni and Jadeja rotating the strike. The manner in which the, not rotating the strike, but they shared and seamlessly fitted into one another to train in the last 2 days. It was a wonderful thing to, I had the privilege of watching them, and let me tell you that it was a great performance, and we hope that you train other mediators also in Hyderabad and other places. Please remember, you are creating a lot of competition for yourself. Thank you. Anyhow, thank you. Thank all of you for being a wonderful training team. The Honourable Judges of Telangana High Court and the persons who underwent training, they were elite. I mean, it was a great disadvantage for me. You see, there should always be, a mixture of good, bad, and ugly. But you had, as the trainees, the best, the elitist. I do hope they all become good and sound mediators and reduce the disputes in India. And very a number of members of the bar and friends. It is, and I forgot, a lot of very eminent and distinguished panelists are there who are themselves renowned mediators and mediation trainers. We welcome them also. We are celebrating the India Mediation Day. That is because in the center, we firmly believe that the mediation culture should be developed. Mediation cannot survive unless we have a culture of mediation. What is this culture? The culture of mediation is this. Number one, knowing about mediation. Knowing about mediation is not just thinking that you have a third party, neutral third party to help you. Knowing about mediation is knowing about the advantages of mediation. Knowing about the advantages of mediation is knowing about the disadvantages of, adjudicatory process of dispute resolution. For example, delay. For example, uncertainty in outcome. You go to a court, you go to an arbitrator, you spend lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees, time, you do not know you are going to win or lose. The uncertainty. Then the inflexibility. You have no choice in the decision. The choice because in mediation, I had the experience of sitting with these people and learning how they created opportunities in a settlement which they would not have thought of when they had the dispute. Instead of resolving the dispute, they went steps ahead and created for themselves rights which were non-existent. This kind of choices, this kind of making improvisations, this kind of continuing the relationship is possible in a solution in a mediation, which is never possible in a decision of a court or an arbitrator. Next is, of course, high cost. We need not talk about the years and decades of pendency, not only in courts, but before in arbitrations and then in courts. When you think of, mediations, which can be settled in days or even $1 billion matter in 4 days, imagine the cost that is saved. And the difficulties of execution. What happens in a court is, when a decree is given, when an order is made, award is made, the party against whom it is made is agitated. He hates it. Therefore, he tries to do everything to avoid the implementation of the judgment or the award. But in a mediation, that does not happen, because he is a willing party to the solution. He is ready to implement it. Therefore, except in very negligible cases, when there is a mediation settlement, there will be no consequential litigation or need for implementation. The last is, of course, the hostile atmosphere in courts, and that is also avoided. Therefore, these are the advantages. If all these advantages of mediation is known, mediation is something that you look forward rather than not like, say, going to a dentist for a tooth extraction. It's not like that. Therefore, court litigation is, but here you go with a positive attitude. That itself is something that is very good. Second is, it is not sufficient if you know about mediation, that you should remember about mediation when a dispute arises. Unfortunately, many people, in life what happens, whenever I go in this YouTube, if I see something about knee pain, I immediately note it. I have knee pain. Because virtually I have pain in every part, and YouTube has got solutions for everything. And I have got one full book of various remedies that are given. But what happens is, when really the knee starts paining, I would have kept that book somewhere. So, knowing about the remedy, knowing that mediation is available is not sufficient. When you have a dispute, when your company has a dispute, when your friend has a dispute, when you yourself have a dispute, think that mediation is the remedy. I will not go to court, I will go to mediation. Now, that is the second step that is necessary in a mediation culture. The third step in a mediation culture is, the first thing about mediation is, as against litigation, in litigation you only think of your strengths and always try to avoid mentioning your weaknesses. In a mediation, you are aware not only of your strengths, you are aware of the grievances, problems of the other side. In an open discussion, you come to know they also have something. They also have a grievance. They also should get some relief. If you develop that mentality, which goes to the fourth stage of having a mindset to settle, and settlement is not having 100% success, not getting Aishwarya Rai as the dream girl as the wife. You are going to end up with somebody, whether it is wife or husband. The absolute expectations are something else. What you are going to get is something else. And that mentality, if you develop in mediation, that you are going to succeed, but you are also not going to succeed in some matters, mediation is going to be very, very effective and successful. Therefore, we have to develop the mediation culture of knowing about mediation, thinking about it when a dispute arises and using it and implementing it to decide our disputes. Now, I have a takeaway from yesterday. I was an observer. Mr. Lim was mentioning various things about mediation, advantages, and all that. I was impressed by one thing he mentioned in the end. He said, mediation teaches you to listen and then understand and then analyze and then discuss and then facilitate. What a wonderful thing. I did not understand what he was saying until he gave an example. He said, in his family, with his wife, with his children, his wife goes on talking, saying something. He says, yes, 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 but he never listens. And even if he listens, he does not bother to understand because his wife will be saying this, his son will be saying that. So if you do not listen, if you do not understand, the problem remains. It does not get dissolved. That's why, instead of problem dissolving, many marriages get dissolved. But if the takeaway from him is, because he is now a successful mediator, he listens to his wife, secret. He understands his wife, and he analyzes what she says, and facilitates by accepting whatever she says. He is successful as a mediator. He is successful in life. I want all of you to be successful, not all of you to become mediators and be successful. Thank you.